2 laps, fuel left. There's the checkered flag. Alright, man, we're going green next time by. Alright, man, we got to line up on the left side here. Waiting on the final car to grid. Pit road is closed. Catch the hey car. Catch the hey car. Get ready. Alright, man. Eight cars in. Green, green, green. The road is now open. Second car is the leader. That was your fastest lap of the session. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 54.314. That was your fastest lap of the session. To go. Next car is the leader. The leader just did a 55.009. We have about 5 laps left on the the fastest lap. Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. That's it, go! Podium position. car in front is pitting. The leader is pitting now. Car on your left. Keep right there. All clear, all clear. The leader just did a 18.668. You have about 5 laps of fuel left. To go. Just got the white flag. That means one more lap to go. You have about 2 laps of fuel left. On your left. All clear, all clear. There's the flag. It's over. There you go, man. Good job, driver.
So the only chance I have in this corner is to outbrake or just brake late and hope to God I can make the corner.
Yeah, like I was good. I was like, all right, let me see. Like I knew I was too close. I was way too close. I couldn't do it in the lap before on you with Dustin because I couldn't. Like I didn't know where I was gonna go, so I knew that if I went in where I wanted to, I would end up wrecking Dustin.
Yeah, I think
I would have ended up checking over.
I break down really easily as I think I can make it.
Yeah, I got some really
Oh yeah. You were eating me up at the pump.
Yeah, I don't know what it is though, because I went into here, right? This section's coming out of the carousel. Like I felt like I had good speed going in, and then right when I got here, like normally you grab the bottom, but for whatever reason it felt like I needed to get on down the straightaway in order to have a chance at staying with you. And I couldn't grab the bottom because I was drifting out too far, and if I tried to set up for going down the straightaway, I just couldn't cross you.
That corner on the last lap I hit perfect. It gave me enough space. The corner I was worried about was this one up here. Because you got in there a couple laps ago, and you almost got to me. I was like, okay, I got to get to this one coming up, yeah.
See, that's funny when I say that because I got through there probably the best that I got through there in one race overnight because I got down to third, immediately got on the gas, was like on attack when I came out of this corner because you went to the right and I was like here, and I was like, oh perfect, I'm gonna line them up, and I figured you were gonna might have a little bit of trouble here, so I set it up so that maybe I would be able to get.
I got to here. You gotta go.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. I could get through this corner.
Oh, I'd fly through this corner. I don't hit the brake at all. You don't hit the brake in this corner. You just lift.
Yeah, but I couldn't get into it.
And I didn't jump the curb every lap. Like some laps I would stay off of it.
What did you do?
And then he
This is another
fourth gear. Oh, and also on my in lap, I turned the car off by accident.
Look at that. Oh, it's got 2 wins. Let's see what this is.
Hey up, Jake.
BMW.
Hey up, Jake. Is his rear tires even spinning?
For like half a second. All you do is rev your
This thing can't do burnout.
Yeah, you gotta give it a little bit of gas and then hold, like, clutch it a little bit and then just.
No, but I was trying to hit the brake to keep it the circle tight.
Yeah, the circle's tight. It's just. You're about to.
The race is over.
Thanks, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, that counts. That goes in the record book.
Damn right, it goes in the record book.
That was fun. Not because I won, because it was fun racing somebody. This is my lap. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. No, yeah, here you go. I cut the fucking car off right there. Alright. I'm gonna share my screen. You're gonna be like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Pit box in 2, 1. Right here.
I gotta move that fucking button. Cut the car off. You ready for this? This is the whole in lap, dude. This lap is garbage. You ready? Alright. This is through the S's. So you see my lap time, I'm pretty good. You know, 400's off. It's a good lap so far. Here you go. I fuck up the bus stop. Too much there. Threw me off. That cut right there. Alright, now watch. I told you I fucked the bus stop up. But the lap is still okay, right? Like, it's not too bad yet. And then this is the moment right here I thought I threw everything away. I was flipping through my pages. You see it? Cut the car. Because it's up on my pad, up on the stick, and I was going to the right to change it like that. And when I hit it, it turned the car off. Yeah. You saw how much time I lost with that. It was like, lost 3 tenths of a second right there. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, you were 7 tenths slower.
Yeah. And you were only a second behind me.
I mean, if you look at my outlap time, just going up through the bus stop, like up through the S's and stuff, like I was shit. I'm shit.
What It was this lap right here, right? Or no, I came out of the pit.
It was 2 to go.
Yeah, I stayed on the middle of the pit road.
Yeah, go look at when I got into my stall. Go look at how I got
I will.
into my stall. So
I want to see where I broke on the bus stop, because I knew you were there. I knew you were going to be there. Oh, I broke a same spot.
Yeah, go
I didn't break any deeper. Huh? I broke. Yeah, I broke at the white line.
Yeah, see,
And lap prior was
15, yeah, up through the bus stop.
I think spot.
Yeah,
Oh, you were on my ass.
that was 15.
You like, was it 15?
Yeah,
you. You were like, oh my, you were literally, I thought you were gonna hit me.
Getting there, like, my spirit and having a chance to live up was what I did not have. I mean, it was literally inch perfect, like every little extra bit of the pavement.
This is the, yeah. I want to watch that came out the road because I swear to God, I was like, I'm breaking late.
Yeah, I'm depressed. I like seriously. I was like, oh, I got a chance here. And I went down the front stretch, and then I just missed the corner completely. Missed turn one. I lost like comparative lap times, 4 tenths. 4 tenths before I even got up the S's.
Oh yeah, you had to break from that.
I think I was still
Whee!
looking at the car. Oh shit, I got a chance.
Well, you ran the fastest lap, did you?
Yeah, I think right behind you. Fastest lap was the same. I think
Yeah, you ran at 153. And I ran at 164.
Yeah, you ran a you won a 54.165 on the same lap I ran a 153. I mean, we were on top of each other the whole race. Like your last lap was a 9.44. I mean, I was a little sideways in my pit box, left lane, and I cut over. It's just a big issue. It's just
Yeah, so right here, fourth. Was I third in this corner? Sometimes I would go to third in this corner depending on how deep I drove into it. How much time I was there before.
just I don't know. Because the changes that I had made in practice with Watkins, like the last setup, made it feel better in those corners. Slow. Which I don't know if it was me or if it was the track or if something didn't go what they wanted. Like bigger chance.
Yeah, this corner. I hate this corner right here. Here's this corner right here. I fly through. I might touch the brake a little bit. Yeah, just dabbing it. The last couple laps, I definitely didn't hit the brake in this corner. This one. Back it up. Yeah, right here. No brake.
The nerve.
I told you, like what you do is you just pitch it in there.
I just didn't have the ability to do that. That was the problem. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Because I every time I would look up in my mirror, I would gap you in that corner in particular, and then you would gain me all back in the damn bus stop.
Well, I would gain time on the bus stop, but a lot of the reason why I was even remotely relevant was because of your draft. Down the front stretch, down up through the S's, down and down the sole of the boot between the toe and the heel. Like just those corners, it was just enough draft that it was pulling me within being like within not losing you. Because I felt like I got as the race went on, I was pretty okay. I was getting more consistent in turn one. Like I don't know, I don't know if it's traction control. If I don't know how to like properly use traction control, there's something that's just it feels like it's holding me back when it comes to turning, when it comes to braking. I don't know if I'm not like braking properly. If this is like there's something with the GT cars that I'm not getting, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Like there's a fundamental flaw in my driving style with the GT cars because I'm still fast, but I don't have like certain finishing abilities when it comes to coming out of a corner, going into a corner, like, and every little bit matters, especially when you're going against someone like Carrito at like Hockenheim, where it's like I need to be with him, and if I can't get there, like I'm screwed. If I can't stay with him, let alone be faster than him, I'm screwed. and I had him in
Yeah,
qualifying.
the only thing that helped me here is the car was comfortable from the get. I knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Not gonna lie. That was pretty fun.
That was a pretty good setup.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot more. That was a lot more fun of a race than I expected. But, okay, so 15. I think was the. Yeah. I want to see because I know I checked it in there. I'm wondering if there's a moment where there's any air that I can get a picture of our cars together. Let's see if you.
But Jake pays for winners.
Oh yeah, brother.
Donated to Johnny's PS5 fund. Oh, damn. At least you made me earn it.
I was just. There was something I didn't have. I'm not quite sure what it is, but you were tenths faster than me in practice. Like
I
every
do
time
think
I ran a fast
had
lap,
I
you were
been,
good.
I do think had I been someone else, you definitely may have made a bigger move in the bus up.
I may have forced the issue a little bit differently, but I wasn't gonna be like. But I was
You're like,
also.
I'm not gonna wipe them out.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wasn't kidding when I said during the race. I was like at driving at max every single lap to stay caught up with you. Like and like draft and whatever was keeping me caught up. Like there was like again something I was not getting, and I do not know what it is, and I'm not sure.
One thing I learned about the GT car though, this car in particular, because it's a no engine in it, is when you go into the corner, when you pick up the gas, you pick up the gas. Like don't ease into it, just pick it up because the traction control is gonna save you.
Well, that's the other issue is that I have that like subconscious issue where if I hear the traction control cut in, I think to
Yeah, you
myself,
lift.
because I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing wrong? Like I feel like I shouldn't be hearing that at all.
So like in turn one, as soon as I hit the apex, I was 100% throttle.
What do I do to the nose?
So yeah, my average finish at Watkins before that race was 6.
Wait, what did you
Not
just say
bad.
before that about the?
When I hit the apex of the corner, I was 100% throttle coming out. Like I didn't get like go into it. I just put the fucking floor down and go. Like,
That's one thing I kind of. I damaged my nose going on lap 13.
hey, good. You lost some arrow, so it probably made it a little bit more splinter.
No, it bent like the cross member between.
How many laps was that? 19, 18?
16, I think. Yeah, 16.
Apparently, I need to break my foot. I run better with it broke or messed up.
I was freaking playing with fire in the bus stop. Like.
Yeah, you were killing me in the bus stop.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't even try to get better.
Well, that's one of those things, right? Is you had your corners where you were better than me, and you knew it, and it was you got to just maintain what you had because you knew I couldn't pass you in the bus stop, so you maintain what you had so you don't make a mistake, and then when you get to those corners where you're better than, you drive away.
The left-hander out of the carousel, I was flying through that corner, and then that left-hander with a turn 6 in the cup layout, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Those two corners, I knew like I can put the 3/10 you gained on me in the bus stop. I get those 3/10 back in those two corners, and then the other ones I just had to maintain.
If we would have read the NASCAR layout, I feel like I may have had a better chance at you because of the carousel. Because I feel like I would have been really good in the carousel, but it would have been a question of how do I get out of the carousel? Like how does it grip up and how does it drive coming out of the carousel compared to you, because you're a lot more disciplined when it comes to corner exit, like getting back on the throttle and stuff like that. So for all I know, that would have been another problem corner for me instead of one that may have ended up
Well,
helping.
that might have that would have changed turn 6 or whatever it's called in the cup layout too, because you would have to use the brake there.
See, that's another issue. Because I think I went into the turn 6 every lap with the idea, or 10, whatever it is, into turn, in thinking that
I know.
thinking that I'm going full speed like I am in a stock car where I have to
Yep.
brake, and then you go into that corner and it's like I'm not giving it a lot of brake, I'm giving it enough to slow down, and I don't know if I was turning into it.
And that corner too, and when we run stock cars here, that corner you're always a little loose in too.
Yeah.
Look, you're going heavy. You're heavy braking in that car, in that stock car. Yeah. What's up? Why? Sorry. You try restarting the computer? Well, play teardown. Yeah, drink. We'll go get it so I can give you your medicine. You're fine. Can you give me a Mountain Dew? Thank you, buddy. What? That was my 20th league start at Watkins, Glen.
It's weird. Now that I got in, like I gained so much right in the middle. Like I didn't hit entry. Like I don't know if it was just closer to hit stick around you, like to get to be able to see apex as well. But I just like subconsciously didn't even try to get in the middle, right? Which is really not yet.
I just wanted to win. I was like, if you're gonna pass me, damn it, you're gonna earn it.
Yeah, I flashed my headlights a couple times too. You didn't even look.
I just swear to God, I never looked in my mirror.
I was like,
because I didn't want to like psych myself out. So I'm like, I know he's there. I'm not gonna look up because I felt like if I made a mistake, you got by me, I would never pass you again.
Yeah, this is a hard track to pass at to begin with, but I mean, I don't know. It would have been weird. See, because like I said, I don't know that I would have been able to hold you off if roles were reversed, because I felt like I didn't have what I needed to in the corners.
You would have done the same thing I would do. You did the same thing I was doing. You know, even if the corner you're bad at, you would just parked it in the fucking apex, and there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a defensive tactic. I mean,
yeah, that's how the bus stop was for me. I'm like, all right, I just gotta make sure I don't drive off here, and he can't go around me.
yeah, that was a wild. I'm streaming here, by the way.
That was fun. I'm sorry, that was fun. I would have been happy with second place though, because how fun it was to race next to somebody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's like I said in an interview. I said this in an interview in Osaka a long time ago. I was like, I don't worry about you behind me because you're not gonna kill me. So, and I'm assuming you generally feel the same way unless we're fucking around.
Well, so I'm not gonna lie. The Indy finish has bothered me quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. The IndyCar Indianapolis finish in TORQ bothered me quite a bit. Subconsciously, I thought to myself, I shouldn't have been so nice. But when I go and look back at the grand scheme of things, and I look at everything, I think to myself, in that moment, I knew that was the right thing to do because I didn't want to put both of us in a position that could have been bad for both of us. So I thought to myself, okay, I let him go. I didn't have anything for him after, and that is what it is. I wasn't gonna wreck him. I didn't want to cause him to do something to wreck, like put the pressure on. If he makes a mistake, fine,
No.
whatever. But I'm not gonna do something that makes us both lose the race. You know what I mean? He was in the position he deserved it at that moment.
I passed you at Charlotte that way. You overdrove a corner, and I got under you, but it was fair game, and like we only pass each other if it's gonna work. Like you're not gonna do a low percentage move and hope it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think I told Goody that.
Mistake.
Yeah, I think I told Goody that one time. He was like, "Would you have moved Johnny for the win to stay in championship condition?" I'm like, "No." I would have tried to pass you, but I wouldn't have moved you.
Well, that's the one thing I don't think the people necessarily respected about us when it came to Oscar is that there seemed to be a lot of people I think perceived that there was team play in the aspect of we weren't racing each other super hard or whatever. That's not the case. Like
Oh no,
it was
definitely not the case.
we worked well together when it came to practice, and if we learned things in a race, we learned it. But when it came to the races themselves, like we shared stuff if we learned something in the race. But when it came to the races themselves, it became a battle of all right, if you're better than me, you catch me, and I know you're faster than me, I'm gonna race you for it. But there's a time and a place when that makes sense and it doesn't make sense. And it's the same thing in the start of a race with a lot of people. Otherwise, like not even on your same team. If it's lap 2 and someone catches you from like 10th or something on a big track, on an oval of some sort, or on a road course, and someone catches you from a decent distance back, why race for it on lap 2 when you have a 60 lap race? It's slightly different with teammates. The situation changes minutely, but we still have always raced each other really hard. But we've always made sure to do it clean every time because there's no point if we wreck each other. How does that help anybody?
The only time I would lay over for a teammate is like, say I stay out and you're on fresh tires and you're right behind me or something. If I can, I'm not gonna try to hold you out if you have a chance to win the race. Like, like if it works, like if you run me down, you're on fresh tires and you have a chance to win, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's circumstantial and whatever. There's definitely a lot of situations where the story might be different, but ultimately, I firmly believe that the story would not be as problematic, or like we wouldn't end up screwing each other trying to race for anything.
No, because there's no ego.
And that was the case with anybody who we ran with too. Is I firmly believe like Dylan was a little bit more. I felt like aggressive in certain situations, but I don't think he would ever end up putting us in a bad position with stuff.
Well,
And
one of the races, he held up a guy for a lap or two, trying to defend to give us more space.
Yeah,
we were pulling away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
he didn't do anything He didn't do it egregiously. He just
I think it was a Watkins
made it.
race, right? Wasn't there something? I don't. It was a road
No,
course, I think, of something.
no, it was
Bathurst?
it was Nashville.
Oh, Nashville.
Right. Yeah, it was in the truck. He what's that dude's name? J.O.'s friend.
Marabello.
Yeah, there you go. He pitted for fresh tires and was trying to come back to the field, and Dylan held him up for a lap or two.
Yeah, single file track, easy to do. But yeah, I mean it's not.
But he wasn't doing it to like protect that. He was just doing it to be hard because he knew his teammates were leading. Like what you do.
Yeah, we had that thing in Oscar so many times where we would have we'd have 4 cars. If we had 4 cars in the race, we'd have 2 cars that ran up front and 2 cars who struggled every race. But it wasn't always the same 2 cars. Like I would run well one race, or you might run well both races. But then Dylan would pick up the slack in race 2 if I fell off in race 1. It was the most wild thing when you looked at all the results after seasons, because I still have the results from calculations and stuff. When you looked at all the dates or all the results, it was wild. You'd have 2 cars in the top 10, and then the other 2 at 20th. It's like, what the heck? And those are the only ones that mattered, right? Because 2 cars were scoring points. But oh man,
I must put that real fast.
Alright, I'll be back.